Hello there, it's Austin, and today we'll be roasting and brewing coffee. So let's get started. We'll start by measuring out about 200 grams of green coffee beans. These beans are from Costa Rica, which I enjoy for a smoother body and some slightly floral characteristics. Pretty similar to my hop choices, honestly. At that point, we'll add them to our roasting drum and start the preheat process. I use a Baymore 1600 coffee roaster, but you can roast coffee with everything from a popcorn popper to an air fryer and even your oven. Here we're preheating the machine on max power for about 2 minutes before putting in the green coffee beans in their drum and reinstalling the chaff guard. Then we'll turn the power supply back on its max power, and then start a timer, mainly because it's hard to see the green display in the sunlight. My roasting process usually consists of ramping the temperature up as quick as possible until around the 6-minute mark when the bean will split open, or its first crack. Then we'll drop the temperature back down until the bean splits open a second time, or its second crack. Finally, maybe 30 seconds after second crack, completely dropping the temperature off before the beans burn or catch on fire. This is a medium roast, but if you wanted a light roast, you could cut the temperature shortly after first crack, or if you want a really dark roast, you could leave it longer after second crack. At the 6-minute mark, you'll hear that first crack. Of the two, first crack is a sharper sound, like a branch being snapped, maybe by a protagonist trying to sneak up on someone in a movie. After another 3 or 4 minutes, you'll start to hear the second crack of the beans. This is much more subtle sounding, like Rice Krispies or a smaller branch being snapped, I guess. After holding it there for about 30 more seconds, we'll start the cooling process. Here I'm opening the door to expedite the cooling process, making sure that we don't roast our beans more than we want. But be careful doing this. If you have any sort of smolder or small fire going, opening the door can rush oxygen in and really make it a lot worse. Also potentially why the inside of my roaster has scorch marks. Once the beans have cooled off completely, put them in a mason jar or a container that can allow them to breathe a little bit and let them sit for 1 to 2 days. Then it's time to grind up and enjoy. Since we did a medium roast, I'll grind mine medium to medium coarse and brew some pour over. But if you don't have pour over, it's just as tasty in French press, drip coffee, even espresso. Freshly roasted coffee has a lot of benefits. Most notably, the flavor and aroma from being able to control exactly how fresh it is, I think really takes it a step up over something that you might buy from a store, unless you're getting it from a roastery where you know exactly when it was roasted. From that point, drinking it in the mornings or adding it to a stout, some sort of a roasted beer, maybe make an espresso martini with it or some sort of mixed drink. But it's a great way to expand your home brewing into home roasting, I guess, and share it with some friends or people that might not drink beer or alcohol. Really corner them into admitting that they're just nervous to try something that you made. Cheers!